Alright, ready to dive deep into the fascinating realm of human connection and attraction? You're about to unlock some potent psychological insights that can make you truly unforgettable. Forget the cheesy pickup lines and surface-level interactions. We're talking about understanding the very fabric of human perception and emotion to subtly, yet powerfully, ensure you occupy her thoughts long after you've said goodbye. If you've ever wanted to be the guy who leaves a lasting magnetic impression, get ready, because these aren't just tips. They're blueprints for genuine connection that resonate deep within the subconscious mind. 10. Psychology tricks that make her think about you all day. You want to be memorable, to leave a mark, to have her thoughts drift to you throughout her day. It's not about manipulation, but about understanding the powerful, often non-conscious, forces that guide human behavior and attraction. By artfully applying these psychological principles, you can foster deeper connections and become someone she genuinely wants to keep thinking about. Point 1. Harness the power of priming. Subtly plant your seeds of thought. Imagine a world where you could subtly nudge someone's thoughts without them even realizing it. This isn't magic. It's priming, a powerful psychological phenomenon that profoundly influences perception and behavior. Our minds operate with an interconnected web of knowledge, where concepts or nodes are linked to related ideas. When one concept is activated, that activation spreads to other connected concepts, making them more prevalent in our minds. This is why if you think of a lucky dwarf, you're more likely to think of the number 7. Lucky number 7. And Snow White and the 7 Dwarves are activated, spreading to the number 7. This occurs even outside our conscious awareness, as demonstrated by studies where people subliminally exposed to the Apple logo exhibited higher creativity. To make her think about you, you can strategically prime her mindset. For instance, if you want her to perceive you as open-minded, casually weave in a story about someone who recently tried a new experience and truly enjoyed it. Remember how I told you that I should start listening to that new band? I didn't like them at first, but I listened to them again, and I really like them now. Such an innocent statement activates the schema of open-mindedness, creating a lens through which she might perceive you and your future interactions as more open-minded. You can also apply this to your own qualities. If you want her to think of you as decisive or passionate, recount a story about a challenge you overcame, emphasizing your clear choices and unwavering focus. This subtly primes her to associate those traits with you. The more detailed and elaborate your casual mentions, the stronger you activate the desired schema, leading to a more favorable perception of you. The key is subtlety. It's about making certain ideas more available on a non-conscious level, so when she reflects, those primed thoughts naturally come to mind in relation to you. 2. Cultivate emotional safety and vulnerability. The foundation of deep connection. True connection stems from emotional safety, a space where one can express their authentic self without fear of judgment. This is a cornerstone for forming deeper bonds and, crucially, for her to feel comfortable enough to truly think about you beyond the superficial. When you create this environment, she's far more likely to open up, which in turn gives you profound insights into who she is and what has shaped her. The ability to share personal details and stories is paramount. This isn't about spilling your deepest, darkest secrets on a first date. It's about sharing your hero story, the lessons you've learned and the challenges you've overcome. For example, if she mentions a tough situation at work, instead of immediately offering solutions, actively listen. Nod, maintain eye contact, and ask follow-up questions like, "That sounds really tough. I can imagine it's weighing on you. How are you managing to handle everything? Is there anything I can do to help?" This demonstrates empathy and creates a safe space. Crucially, match her vulnerability with your own, but always from a place of confidence. I've had moments like that too, where I've questioned my own decisions, but I found that sticking through the hard times really helped me grow. and I only hope that I can be here to support you in any way that I can. This reciprocal openness fosters emotional intimacy, building a strong foundation. When both parties feel safe enough to be vulnerable, the bond deepens, and she naturally reflects on the person who provides such comfort and understanding. This also ties into self-perception theory. When she sees herself opening up to you, she infers that you are someone she feels safe with, reinforcing her positive feelings toward you. 3. Embrace mystery and unpredictability. Keep her curious and engaged while sharing is vital. The art of mystery and intrigue is equally powerful in keeping her thinking about you. It's not about playing games or being elusive, but about maintaining your individuality and not rushing to make someone your sole priority. Too often, men become overly eager, giving everything away up front and making the woman their entire focus. Even when they barely know her, the trick is to pace the connection. Focus on building a life that genuinely excites you, and then let her complement that life rather than become its center. When she asks about your weekend plans, instead of laying out every detail, keep a bit of mystery. I've got a few exciting things lined up, but I'll tell you more about it later. What about you? This subtle unpredictability keeps her curiosity piqued, making her wonder what you're up to and desire to learn more. Being unpredictable means not always being available or sticking rigidly to a routine. Maintain your own interests and schedule, ensuring she remains curious about your life outside of her. This shows you have a rich, fulfilling existence, which is inherently attractive. Something truly good and lasting takes time to develop. By not revealing everything too quickly, you invite her to explore different layers of who you are over time, building curiosity that makes her continue to think about you and anticipate your next interaction. This avoids getting wrapped up in superficial infatuation and encourages a more profound, lasting connection. 4. Master nonverbal cues. Mirroring and subtle body language. Our bodies often speak more honestly than our words, conveying feelings we may not even realize. Nonverbal communication, or body language, plays a crucial role in attraction and fostering connection. One of the most effective nonverbal techniques is mirroring, where you subtly or unconsciously mimic a person's gestures or postures. This creates a sense of connection and intimacy, often occurring even before a verbal exchange. For instance, if she leans in slightly, you might subtly lean in too. If she crosses her legs, you might do the same a moment later. Mirroring behaviors, such as matching her energy levels or speech patterns, point to mutual attraction. This chameleon effect creates a sense of liking because it appeals to our brain's desire for symmetry, activating reward processing regions. It's biologically pleasing when another person imitates our nonverbal behavior. Beyond mirroring, other subtle nonverbal cues can leave her thinking about you. Maintaining focused eye contact indicates genuine interest. When conversing, give her your undivided attention. A fleeting smile, a momentary widening of the eyes, or a slight lean in can convey comfort, interest, and a desire to be closer without explicitly stating it. Alison Tarlow, a licensed clinical psychologist, notes that subconscious, small gestures often convey more than words when it comes to attraction. These subtle signals bypass conscious scrutiny, leaving her with an intuitive sense of connection that she ponder later. 5. Leverage. Shared similarities and connections. Birds of a feather flock together. Old saying, opposites attract, is largely a myth in psychology. We are psychologically drawn towards people who resemble us in appearance, interests, and virtually all other aspects. This is the similarity attraction effect. The more similarities you share with someone, the more you tend to like them. Even small, seemingly irrelevant similarities can tremendously boost attraction and persuasion. When interacting, take a moment to learn about her life and interests. Actively listen for commonalities. Upon discovering a similarity, don't hesitate to reveal it. This incidental similarity appeals to implicit egotism and builds rapport. For example, if you find out you both love obscure indie films, share that enthusiasm. If you share a birthday, a mutual friend, or even a similar first name, mentioning it can create an instant, powerful bond, especially if the similarity is uncommon. Studies show that people who shared a rare fingerprint with a Confederate were significantly more likely to help them with a demanding request. This suggests that the rarer the similarity, the stronger the psychological pull. By emphasizing these shared aspects, you make her feel understood and validated, which are crucial components of intimacy. When her beliefs about you align with her own, the relationship flows more smoothly, fostering a sense of deep understanding that will stick with her. It's about demonstrating that you're on the same wavelength, making her feel a natural affinity that encourages her to keep you in her thoughts. 6. The art of reciprocal liking and compliments. The warmth that lingers. We are wired to like people who like us. This is the reciprocity of liking rule, and it's a profound motivator in interpersonal attraction. When we believe someone likes us, we tend to reciprocate that liking. This extends beyond mere politeness. It creates a deep-seated feeling of obligation to return the favor. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to trigger this is through genuine compliments. People love to be complimented. When you express sincere appreciation and praise for a quality you truly admire about her, you not only enhance your likability but also subtly tilt the seesaw in her direction. She'll feel an urge to say or do something nice in return, whether it's a reciprocal compliment or a more favorable attitude towards you. Consider the power of framing your compliments. You have such an interesting perspective. Or, I'd love to hear more about that. These phrases, as noted by psychotherapists, indicate a desire to connect on a personal level and value what she has to say. If you're complimenting her on something specific, like a skill or a thoughtful remark, it feels authentic and impactful. This not only makes her feel good in the moment, but also encourages her to reflect on the positive interaction, prompting her to think about you and the positive emotions you evoke. This principle is so powerful because social approval is a transsituational reinforcer, meaning it's valuable across many situations and satisfies a fundamental human need for esteem. 7. Infuse humor and playfulness. The joyful echo in her mind. Laughter is truly the best medicine, and it's also one of the most effective ways to create positive emotions and build rapport. Injecting humor and playfulness into your interactions can make her associate joy and lightness with being around you, ensuring you leave a memorable, positive imprint on her mind. This doesn't mean you need to be a stand-up comedian. Light teasing, shared jokes, and playful banter are excellent tools for forming a unique bond. For example, if she teases you about something harmless, lean into the joke. "Oh, you think I'm bad at texting? Wait until you see my dance moves. I'll have you rethinking everything about me." This shows self-confidence and invites her to do the same. Creating inside jokes or nicknames based on shared experiences establishes a sense of closeness that only the two of you share, making your connection feel more intimate and special. The ability to laugh at yourself without diminishing your worth shows self-confidence, a highly attractive trait. Research suggests that using humor when first getting to know someone can significantly increase how much they like you. When you make her laugh, you trigger a positive emotional response, which, through classical conditioning and misattribution, becomes associated with you. Later, when she recalls those moments of joy, she'll be thinking about you and the fun she had in your company. This playfulness keeps the mood light and fun, transforming interactions into eagerly anticipated experiences. 8. Convey high expectations. Shaping her perception of you. Expectations are incredibly powerful. They can mold our perception and even influence our behavior. If you want someone to perceive you or the experience of being with you more favorably. You should subtly convey high expectations. This isn't about arrogance, but about confidently setting a positive framework for how she should view the interaction, and, by extension, you. This operates through several psychological mechanisms, including anchoring and confirmation bias. When you imply that an experience will be excellent, you set a high anchor point. Her perception will then tend to adjust towards that anchor, making her more likely to interpret subsequent events in a positive light. Furthermore, confirmation bias dictates that people naturally seek information that confirms their existing beliefs or expectations. If you convey high expectations for a date, she'll subconsciously look for reasons to confirm that it's a fantastic experience, making her more receptive to positive aspects. For instance, you might say something like, "I'm really looking forward to our time together. I have a feeling it's going to be a memorable evening." This isn't a promise of perfection, but a confident statement of positive anticipation. It sets an expectation that encourages her to view the interaction through a favorable lens. This is similar to how the price of an energy drink influenced performance on a mental task. Higher expectations led to better outcomes. Similarly, a positive initial impression created by your confident expectations will mold her perception for the remainder of your message and interaction. Make sure these expectations are believable, as overly extreme claims can backfire and produce a contrast effect instead. 9. Strategic scarcity and availability. Making her want more. Human beings are psychologically wired to desire what is scarce or limited. When something becomes less available, we tend to place a higher value on it and feel a stronger urge to act to acquire it. This principle, known as commodity theory and tied to psychological reactance and loss aversion, can be a potent tool to make her want more of your time and attention, thus keeping you on her mind. This isn't about playing hard to get in a manipulative way, but about subtly managing your availability to create a healthy sense of desire. If you are always immediately available, always responding to texts instantly, or always free for a date, you inadvertently diminish your perceived value. When a freedom becomes limited, we feel a natural tendency to reclaim that freedom. If she perceives your time or attention as always accessible, there's less psychological pressure to value it. Instead, create a subtle sense of scarcity. This is why avoiding responding too quickly to texts is advised. Waiting a few hours or even a day before responding allows her time to miss you and wonder where you are, creating a little bit of chase. This signals that you have a rich, full life, making your presence more desirable when it is available. It's about letting her earn her place in your life naturally, rather than giving everything away up front. The goal is to make her feel that your time is valuable and worth pursuing, compelling her to actively think about you and seek out your company. 10. The arousal connection. Linking excitement to your presence, perhaps one of the most fascinating and powerful psychological tricks, involves the misattribution of arousal. Our bodies often experience similar physiological responses, for example, a rapid heartbeat, heavy breathing, across different emotional states, whether it's fear, excitement, or attraction. Sometimes we can mistakenly attribute this arousal to the wrong source. This can be strategically leveraged to enhance perceived attraction. Studies have shown that when individuals experience heightened arousal from a neutral source, such as walking across a wobbly suspension bridge or being startled by a loud noise, they are more likely to report stronger feelings of attraction towards someone nearby. The dangerous situation on the bridge caused heightened arousal, and instead of solely attributing it to the bridge, males misattributed some of that intense feeling to the female researcher who approached them. While you shouldn't put her in genuinely dangerous situations, you can take advantage of naturally occurring arousal. Suggesting dates that are exciting, mildly thrilling, or even just energetic can implicitly link those exhilarating feelings to your presence. A trip to an amusement park, a challenging hike, or even a scary movie can increase physiological arousal. As she experiences these heightened states, she may subconsciously misattribute some of that excitement and rapid heartbeat to her feelings for you. The positive, stimulating emotions become associated with your company, making you stand out as someone who brings excitement into her life. This subtle, non-conscious association can leave her thinking about you with a heightened sense of intrigue and desire. Final thoughts. To truly capture her thoughts and leave an indelible mark, weave these psychological insights into your interactions. It's about genuine engagement, subtle cues, and understanding the deeper currents of human connection. Be confident, empathetic, and authentic. Create an experience that is both safe and exciting, leaving her curious and valuing your presence. By tapping into these subconscious drivers, you're not just having conversations. You're building a narrative in her mind where you are the captivating, unforgettable lead she can't stop thinking about. Make every interaction a memorable pixel in the beautiful picture of your connection.